History My End Was My Beginning. Artist Dirnamir Stories.
I always learn where my friend learns, and keeping my stuff with her. We study and play together. We have a dream of studying University of Science. We learn at Silver Secondary School, where my mother teaches. We come back home at 12:30 with my mother and Layla. One day, I was upset because of Layla missed the class. I decided to go and visit her. I saw her was very ill. I took some minutes to be with her without talking anything. She was incapable of doing anything. After asking around and talking to her parents, I noticed that she had heart attack. Layla is suffered from heart attack. For a long time, she kept it secret with her parents. She couldn't let herself to make someone knows what she has. Even me, her best friend. After 2 weeks, Layla was taken by her parents to Canada for the treatment. That was the last day I see Layla. In my life, I kept on studying, but not like before because I thought I lost everything in my life. I used to play and study together with my friend Layla. We had a dream of learning at the University of Science, but now this is an empty dream. My mother was coming to me every day to convince and persuade me to keep my dream like before. Past like a shadow. It's 2 years now. I have been a student at the University of Science. One study well, but I can't help thinking of her. And I still remember of my mother, the one who persuaded me to keep my dream. My determination and hard work have allowed me to achieve my life goals independently. I live with my family, father and mother, and I have finished the University of Science in the United States of America. Now I want to go to Canada to work. It's Monday 5 a.m. early in the morning. I fly from America to Canada. It's my first time flying and leaving my hometown. On the flight, I met Zur. For the first time, I tried to ask him about renting the house in Canada, he told me. Not much expensive at all. It's like a piece of cake. And I continued to ask him some questions, but he was beating around the bush. It's almost 7 o'clock. Are you ready to choose something? Zur asked me. I said no thanks. At 8:20, we were so peaceful for landing at Ottawa International Airport. It is said that Ottawa International Airport was amazing because they have everything in there. When we were getting off the flight, he was asking me, what kind of job you're going to look for? What kind of job you're going to look for? And I said, doctor. Noble work depends on good education. Yes, I know success in life depends on good education, but don't forget, when you put everything into education, there is a chance of failure. Zur wondered and asked again, why be that? Don't you believe education is everything? I believe in that, but life has two parts. There's life and there's education. So when you focus on education for many years, you won't make early progress in life. Not everyone has an education, and they also work after a meaningful welfare event. I headed to my rented house in a taxi. The following morning, I began my day by taking a taxi to the Toronto General Hospital, where I was warmly welcomed by esteemed doctors like Brad Poachman, Dr. Anil Kropra, Kevin Bean, and Dr. David Carr. Their reception made me feel valued and excited to work alongside them as a new nurse. I love being a doctor. I don't stop making communication to my parents. When I get my salary, I remember giving them too. I earn money to my future life. I thought it was my end after Layla dying, but was the first step of my life to move forward. Sometimes I went out to try asking around and looking for Layla, but there was still nothing I got. Life is like a location. When you try to look for it, comes near you. When you try not to look for it, goes far from. It's 7 years past like a shadow. I'm the doctor at Toronto General Hospital. We serve well. We care everyone, doesn't matter who you are. Treatment is the first. Everyone loves and respects our hospital service because we know our duties. Suddenly, early in the morning, we received a casualty who had an accident with a car. She was a very serious casualty. I stood and treated her until she locked well somehow. 30 minutes later, her husband arrived after calling him. He was insane. We put him down and telling those good words to please him. Then I asked him about her wife. He said she's suffered from a heart attack. I felt emotional upon hearing her name. Layla. I shocked and asked what's her name again. He said Layla. I was about to cry to hear that. Her name is Layla, and I am Zur. I remember Zur. It's the one whom I met on the flight, and I know perfectly well about Layla, even if I didn't recognize her for the first time. It took 1 week until Layla get recovered. That time I spent to introduce to her. She cried a lot after knowing for many years. I told her about my life and my parents, and she told me about her parents. They've already died, both. That's why she decided to get married, for the sake of her own life. She explained about her life was very difficult to her. She didn't learn much longer because of her parents didn't afford it. I said I'm sorry for everything. I told Layla, you have a husband. You have children now. That's all you have to take a good responsibility. Like a mother. Forget and forgive what the past was. Move on your journey, and God protect you from where you are until the end of your destination. I'm happy to help you till you cover well. She hugs me, and we are family now from that time.